I'm now pleased to introduce the new president of the board of directors of the New Humanitarian, Paula Fray. Paula is an award-winning journalist. She's also an editor, trainer, and multimedia manager. She heads up one of Africa's flagship media organizations, and we're delighted that she's taken over from our outgoing president, Howard French, as our new chair. So welcome, Paula.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Mike, for that play. I'm really honored to stand here today as the new president of the board of an organization that really has redefined humanitarian coverage since it was started in 1995. In less than a quarter of a century, IRIN has really set the agenda. It's been a benchmark for other journalists, but it's also really become a trusted source for policymakers, for practitioners, and for citizens around the world. Today, as we transition from IRIN to the New Humanitarian, it's a proud moment for me, but it's also a moment where really what we're doing is we're committing ourselves to putting quality, independent journalism at the service of millions of people affected by humanitarian crises in order to inform prevention and response. And in doing so, I believe that we must really be responsive to the seismic shifts that have happened in the world. As Heba was saying earlier on, the humanitarian crises are changing. Our responses to humanitarian crises are changing, but the media is also changing. And the way we gather our stories, the way we tell our stories, the way we share our stories are changing. And the New Humanitarian really is at the right place in order to be able to tell those stories for a new and a growing audience. Our audiences are changing. We certainly do intend to remain a trusted source for policymakers. But increasingly around the world, we recognize that the world's crises cannot be tackled by governments alone or by big institutions. And what we need to do is to make sure that these issues are also understood and available and accessible to ordinary people. What we know is that local voices and local responses are an integral part of the inside story. And IRIN, and now the New Humanitarian, really seeks to be able to amplify that. So to be clear, the New Humanitarian does intend to remain a trusted news source for policymakers and practitioners, but we also want to reach a wider audience of people who want to better understand our complex world in order to change it for the better. I want to just pay tribute to all the people who had made this possible, because I don't think that we would have been able to come here or be this part of our journey without a range of people who've really contributed. And I want to start off by saying that my predecessor on the board, Howard French, is really instrumental in focusing on the need for quality journalism in order to tell the story effectively. But the driver of this process today actually is Heba Ali, the director of IRIN and the director of the New Humanitarian. But also, there's an entire field of reporters out across the globe who are reporting these stories from the front lines, from our new catchphrases, from the heart of the crisis. And they're very ably led by Josephine Schmidt. And the editorial team. And then we also have a support team here in Geneva who really make it possible, make our dream for independent journalism possible. So I want to pay tribute to them. But our journey is not possible without, quite frankly, our audience, the readers who around the world who have encouraged and supported the work of the New Humanitarian by using it to inform their own understanding and their actions in this field. And then finally, this journey is not possible without our donors and our funders. And we take seriously their investment in our work, and we honor it with quality, independent, and authoritative journalism, working to shape an agenda that can improve the lives of millions of people in conflicts, disasters, and humanitarian crises. I want to thank you, everyone here and also watching online. Thank you for being with us on our journey today. We hope that you will share it with other people. These stories are important. These stories are life-changing, and I'll hope that you'll continue the journey with us. Thank you very much.